What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. As always, we are streaming to you live here on the DSM-Media Twitter channel. You can find us at DSM_media. Make sure to hit that follow button. And then, of course, we're also live on the DSM Philadelphia YouTube channel. Most importantly, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link tree in our bio will take you directly to it. You can see it on the screen popped up under Scotty. It's the only and best spot for you guys to get interactive with us, where we can see your thoughts and comments and questions pulled up. I'm one half your host, Dylan Davis. To my left, like I said, my faithful co-host, Scotty. Kyle Schwarber, back in the red and white pinstripes. 5 years, $150 million deal with the Fightins. We're going to talk about the deal. How do you guys feel about it? 5 years. How do you feel about the money? How do you feel about everything? Obviously, I know the Phillies are in a very dark part of the room for most people, if not all people in this fan base, right? So it's not the most exciting time to talk about when the Eagles are doing what the Eagles are doing. So it's just bringing everything down to a negative energy. But don't get it twisted, guys. This is a fantastic signing. This is a great thing for the Phillies, for the future of the Phillies, and for Kyle Schwarber. The Sixers return back to action tonight as well after a little small hiatus for the NBA Cup, semis or quarterfinals, whatever was taking place over the last couple of days. They're at home tonight. 7.5-point favorites against the Indiana Pacers. Paul George and Joel Embiid seem ready and good to go. Tyrese Maxey popped up questionable now today with an illness. We'll see if he is going to give it a shot tonight. Hopefully we can see the Sixers at their full core, minus, obviously still Kelly and Trendon Watford. But my man, happy Friday. I know I just talked for 2 minutes there. What is going on?
All good, brother. Happy Friday. I'm glad you were able to get us into the show like that. There's a lot to dig into kind of outside of the Eagles right now, that negative umbrella that they kind of have over the city right now. We can kind of ignore them for today, and we'll obviously get back to them on Sunday when their game arrives, and we'll have Eagles pregame to discuss that. But I'm excited to get into this Philly signing. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation about what moves were the Phillies going to do, what shakeups were they going to make with the roster. Kyle Schwarber isn't the shakeup that you want to make. So, isn't the negative or the empty hole shakeup that you want to make on this roster. So, yeah, I'm happy to see that get done. And it locks in our NL MVP candidate for the next 5 years in the city, man. Yes. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to talk about what's next for this Phillies roster, including Kyle Schwarber. And I'm excited to get back into the Sixers, man. They're getting healthier, to your point. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see Embiid hopefully playing consecutive games, although there is a week in between. It's consecutive games. It means something. And Paul George off the injury report, which is great, man. So, yeah. I'm trying to put the positive vibes into the air today, if you can't tell. It's Friday. I'm happy. I got the coffee. We got the Eagles mug. We're feeling good, man.
Just the coffee.
The mud.
It's a good place to start, man, because obviously I agree with you. I said it to you before the show. I know everyone still has a very, very, very sour taste from the ending of this Philly season and how the season ended in a fashion that we have quite frankly never seen before and probably will never see again, excuse me. So it's not the best time to try to bring in the optimism in the room, right? But this is a very, very, very positive thing for the Philadelphia Phillies. As you mentioned, look, no one wants to see the Phillies run it back, right? We remember all the couple Sixers years, they're just going to run it back. They're going to run it back. And with the Phillies, you can't do that again. But that's not the hole that you want to open up. That's not the crater that you want to create within this roster, right?
Yeah.
Malcolm on the trade block, fine. I'm actually glad with it. Nick Castellanos move on. Max Kepler move on. If Harrison Bader, who I would like back, but if he moves on, you got to reshape, redevelop the outfield, see what you do there.
Yeah.
JT, obviously from a defensive standpoint, if you're rolling with fucking Marchand and Stubbs, you don't know, but JT as a bat hasn't been the same guy over the last 2 years. If you move on from JT, I don't have too much of a problem with it. Schwarber wasn't the piece to start at, right? You don't just move on from 56 home runs. Right. You don't just replace 132 RBIs.
Right.
You don't just replace the runner-up to Shohei Ohtani for NL MVP last year.
Right.
You don't just replace, let me get this number right, 187 home runs over the last 4 seasons since he's become a Philly, tied with Ohtani, just behind Aaron Judge.
Mm.
And his OPS ranks 15th out of 224 players to qualify. You don't just replace that. Okay. You also can't replace the leadership. You can't replace the guy, the locker room guy, the community guy. He's such a glue to this team. And what's the argument going to be? Well, so much for the glue. This team falls apart. I can get it. I can get the pessimism surrounding the team as a whole. But that's not from this guy. He has to show up in the postseason now, as do they all. But you got the money. You're here locked in. He's going to be here till he's 38 years old, most likely. It's time to show up in the postseason. He said it. He's here to win a World Series in Philadelphia, multiple World Series in Philadelphia. Let's see how that transpires. The age, right? The age and the years, if that's where people want to nitpick. Oh, well, I would have given him 4 years. The 5th year. He's a DH at 32 years old, coming off the season, posting the numbers I just mentioned. There is no sense of decline coming this year or over the next 3 years, right? Maybe by the time he's 38, Scotty, in 2030, we're looking – maybe they don't have a World Series ring, and we're looking back, and the sky is cloudy and gray. And, man, what were we thinking? We got $50 million on the hook for Schwarber. I'll worry about that in 2030, my guy. That's not where I'm going to hang my hat on today.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. This is a positive move. You mentioned how early in the offseason it is as well. It allows the Phillies to know that they got that, as you mentioned, crater filled in the roster in Kyle Schwarber, and that gives them a little bit of comfort moving forward with moving on from different guys, like you mentioned, the Castellanos, the Bohm, maybe JTs.
Well, they got to find trade partners for those guys, but yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the clubhouse, you keep that leadership cornerstone in there, you maybe aren't able to move on from JT if you lose Kyle Schwarber from that standpoint, right? But now it gives you a little bit more flexibility. You don't have to bring JT back from that standpoint to an extent, but like you said, man, 56 home runs, 132 RBIs last season. But the big thing that I saw when I was looking at the numbers since he got here, obviously 4 straight playoff appearances for the Phillies, 2 back-to-back NL East titles. Like you said, they've collapsed in the postseason. That isn't the gist of what they've been able to do over the last 4 years. They are actually a very consistently successful team in the MLB. They just haven't been able to win at the top. And that's a lot of teams, right? You don't want to be in that group, but we're in that group right now. And all you can do is want to get back to that point so you can prove yourself at that point again. And, the thing that stuck out to me through the 4 years, obviously average 47 home runs per season, right? 107 runs, 108 RBIs per season. But the big thing that I was looking at was the 157 games per season, just being kind of that mainstay in the lineup. When you have guys like Trey, who's been out in and out of the lineup, you've had Castellanos in and out, Bryce in and out, right? So just having that mainstay of that bat in your lineup game to game is just huge for this team. And no, I'm with you, man. The production, it's not that it declined or regressed last year. It went up. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe there is a drop, but what is he going to do? Just return back to 47 home runs a season? Like, that's fine. Like, that's fine. You still want that at the top of your lineup. So I'm with you, man. It's a move that you absolutely had to do if you're the Phillies. And, the other side of the conversation is, God forbid he leaves and goes to another NL team. Or, I doubt he would go to another NL East team, but you just never know.
The Mets were involved.
And they need a bat, right? Yeah. They need a heavy bat like Kyle Schwarber now after a guy moves on. So, that's the other side of the conversation as well. Not just the success or the sustainability, the productivity that he brings to the Phillies, but what it could mean for a Phillies opponent as well. Best thing to do, keep this guy in house. He's a mainstay of your team. I'm happy about it, man. Yeah, I would say 10 out of 10.
It's that simple. It's that simple. And to the people out there that want to nitpick or complain about the 5th year, want to complain about the AAV towards the 5th year, look, obviously that's what we're here to talk. Like we talk about that in every sport with every athlete, and it does matter. It does technically affect the fan because, in 3-4 years from now, if it is looking like a big black cloud casted over this team and it's not, you can't do anything with the contract, it does affect the performance, which affects us. But it's not your money, bro. It's not our money. If Don Middleton wants to give Kyle Schwarber $50 million when he is 37, 38 years old, then that is his prerogative. To your point about, like, he's 32 now, he's going to be 33 in March before the season starts, so in spring training, right? This isn't a guy that you're asking to play left field as a corner outfielder at age 33, 34. This is a guy aging gracefully, it seems like.
Yeah.
Rob Thompson quoted that this is, I think just his work ethic, the body's gotten better over time. He's in the best shape of his life right now, and I don't think that's going to change. He's so intelligent. He sees the game a little bit different than a lot of other guys, and he works at it, watches a lot of film. I think there's a really good chance that he's going to maintain this level. I mean, this was an unbelievable year for him, so I don't think we can expect this every year, but I still think he's going to be a high-level performer. Across sports, you're seeing athletes play later into their days, right? For God's sakes, we just spoke last night that the Indianapolis Colts are bringing back a grandfather to play quarterback in the National Football League. Joe Flacco was winning games in the National Football League at over 40 years old. Aaron Rodgers is over 40 years old trying to make the playoffs. Play quarterback in the National Football League. I think Kyle Schwarber can continue to swing a heavy and productive baseball bat, not playing the field into his mid to late 30s. Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. It'll be okay for the next 4 years.
I wanna throw something back to you. I was reading this ESPN article about the move, obviously signing him back. By the way, ESPN graded it. Maybe take it with a grain of salt. They graded it as an A move. It was a move that the Phillies had to make, in their opinion. It was Brad Doolittle and David Schoenfield in this article. But nonetheless, what they said in this article was interesting to me. They gently compared Kyle Schwarber to David Ortiz and the way he was able to age kind of gracefully. He ended up, they said he had his best season of his career at age 40. They did mention there are different players like David Ortiz. When he got into his 30s, he started working on, lowering his strikeout percentage, getting more contact consistently. But they gently compared him to Kyle Schwarber in the way he could potentially age. And I was just curious on your thoughts of that statement or that.
Because I think it's very simple, man. All the man has to focus on, focus on his body, obviously, and he's doing a good job of that as well. Like, if you look at David Ortiz's stature versus Kyle Schwarber's stature, right? He just has to swing the bat. I know I'm oversimplifying it. I'm making it sound like it's not as big of a deal or as hard as it is. But being, like you mentioned, 40 years old. We're only talking 33, 34, 35 right now. Like,
right? Like,
people are talking about Kyle Schwarber like he's already 38 years old at the beginning of the contract. He's 32 as of today. I think it's a fine comparison. I think people take the name of David Ortiz, and that would sound astronomical
crazy
to compare Kyle Schwarber to. But why is it crazy to compare a guy that's averaging 47 home runs per season since he's been a Philly to? 56 with 132 just last season, second in MVP voting in the National League. That's not crazy to compare a great player to, because that is what a great player would do, right? So, I think it's a great signing, like you mentioned. It's a positive for the team in the city. If you want to continue to be sour grapes about everything in Philadelphia sports world or the Phillies in general, that's okay. You can go ahead and do that. It's time to start to turn the page towards 2026, and this is a positive for 2026, and that's where I'm at.
Let me ask you this, just for the sour grapes out there, and naysayers of Phillies going into next season. If you were a third baseman, per se, right? And you were on the market, or maybe a second base or a catcher, whatever the case may be, how intriguing would this roster be to come to? Or an outfielder, right? Come play an outfield with Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner, and Zach Wheeler, and so on and so forth, right? Like, how intriguing does that sound for all the naysayers?
regardless of how we feel about the team today and how last year ended and the season before that ended and the season before that ended, I get we're spanning 3 postseasons of big major letdowns. I get it. Regardless of how we feel, this is still a major destination for players and stars to come to.
Yeah.
Is it New York? Is it LA? No, I think guys are still back-to-back defending champs in LA with all that talent. Guys are going to want to go there, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees, whatever. But you go beyond New York, LA, you're right there.
Yeah.
And again, regardless of how you feel about them,
yeah,
would you like to know where the Phillies, as of right now, brought to you by DraftKings, line up to win the 2026 World Series?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Third.
You're on a roll. I think you guessed something yesterday on turf. You guessed something I threw out 3 times and got it right.
That's crazy.
I'm going to give you the good grace to say that you did not. Yes, they are third. It is L.A., New York being the Yankees, Philly, Houston, Seattle, Mets.
Wow.
So it's the Dodgers and us in the NL. Phillies 11-1 plus 500 to win the World Series in 2026. Now, you can take that number and you can tell me to shove it up my ass. It means nothing to you. That's good for you.
It's fine.
I'm just letting you know that this is how the world views them. This is how Vegas views them. This is how how good of a team this still is, regardless if they have disappointed us in the past.
Yeah. No, exactly, man. And, something I was thinking about as you were talking, he's not 38. He's 32 going on 33.
Yes.
And the hope by the time he is 38, guys, is that we can look back at that point and say, well, it doesn't matter now. We got the ring, right? We got the trophy. That is the point. So I feel like we're losing the plot here, right? If you move on from Schwarber, it doesn't help you get closer to winning the World Series. So how does it correlate? In 2038, the goal is to be looking back, or I think when he's 30, and now I'm putting us 15 years, 10 years ahead, but when he's 38, you know what I mean?
Yes, and look, the only thing that I've seen people mad at is the extra year, is the money in the 5th year. Oh, he's going to be 37, 38 by the time his contract expires. We're going to look back at this, and it's going to be one of the worst days, and blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to win a World Series.
Right.
Those numbers I told you, I just read to you what Vegas thinks of them. Means they're in the picture.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to beat the Dodgers? I don't know, man. I mean, they just went to 7. They did just go to 7, but back to back, we know the talent. I'm sure they're going to add. I mean, they just signed Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, the closer.
Just keeps happening, right? Is anyone going to beat the Dodgers? I don't fucking know. Maybe they win 7 in a row at this point. Who knows? But the bottom line is you're in the bubble. You're in the picture.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to go get one. And you don't go and try to get one by having to replace that guy.
Right.
You don't just replace those numbers. You can't just replace 56 home runs. It's not possible.
Could you imagine going into next season without Kyle Schwarber in the lineup? Can you just imagine it for 1 second? That's just insane to even think about, man.
What I'm about to say is going to sound like a negative towards this guy, but it's not. And I would still very much like to have him on the squad this year if the Phillies can make a play for him. Cody Bellinger's name has popped up on the market, obviously.
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger's not replacing Kyle Schwarber.
Right.
So let's say you lost Schwarber, but bought back Realmuto, traded Costi for a bucket of balls, did something with Boehm, and brought in Cody Bellinger. Are you a better baseball team than you were last year? I can answer that very quickly. No. Hell fucking no, you're not.
Right.
And that is with all due respect to hopefully future Philly Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
You're just not better. So replacing that guy wasn't a possibility. They got it done. They got it done early. I'm happy about it. Let me read this to you. This same article on MLB.com, okay? The attention now turns to free agent catcher JT Realmuto. Dave Dombrowski expressed optimism, in Realmuto's return on Monday, and the Phillies have an offer on the table they're awaiting. They can't wait forever, of course, but they also know the catching market is thin. That's problem number one with moving on from JT. I said earlier in the show, I would not be terribly upset with it if JT is not a Philly moving forward. But if your options are a platoon of Rafael Marchand and possibly Garrett Stubbs being brought back up, or I don't know what else is what it's looking like on the market. I know the Adley Rutschman theory. No. So at this point, you kind of almost have to bring him back. Here's the problem with that. What's next beyond Realmuto? Sources said Tuesday that the Phillies re-signed both Schwarber and Realmuto. They do not have the payroll flexibility to acquire another big-time free agent from a group that includes Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Bo Bichette, and Cody Bellinger. So they go out. Schwarber's done. You go out and pay JT on a 2 or 3 year deal at over $100 million, whatever it's going to cost to bring him back. That takes you out of the running for any of the other big names.
Right.
And obviously, catcher is an important need. But if you're asking me if I would take JT Realmuto over any of those guys, fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
What I'm thinking in my head.
If you had to replace JT, trade Bohm, and come away with Alex Bregman, I would be fucking ecstatic moving into 2026.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, man. What about in a world where you are able to move a Castellanos or a Bohm? Would that maybe change the circumstances of being able to?
So that's a good point.
You're gonna have to take in a contract to get rid of those guys, right?
Right.
Like, is that what you're gonna say?
Costy's going to move on from about 20 mil, I think it is, a year. I don't know what Bohm is. To add on to this, so here's what happens. But moves still need to be made. There's spots to be added to the 40-man roster, yada, yada. They are interested in bringing Bader back. They are trying to trade Nick Castellanos. Those sources think that if the Phillies find a match, it won't happen until later in the offseason. And if they can't trade Castellanos, they will release him.
That's
now,
dead money.
In baseball terms, I don't know if that just wipes off the $20 million that he would be owed in this final year, or if they have to eat that $20 million because they're releasing him. I don't know. If the Phillies want to acquire another impact hitter to help the lineup, they likely would have to trade a player or two from the 26-man roster to clear payroll. It's possible. So, to your point, I guess if you move on, if you do get 20 mil off the books from Costi and you do move on from Bohm, I would assume there's enough room to do something for a Cody Bellinger or Alex Bregman. I would hope.
So something that stuck out to me is, and maybe they're just talking about the lineup, but there's no mention of Ranger Suarez. So I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is he gone? Is that the?
I think so. I think so.
Bro.
I think it's a foregone conclusion that he's.
I haven't seen anything on it, so
I haven't seen anything either. I haven't seen like tweets alluding to other teams, who's interested in him. I would imagine just about everybody in Major League Baseball is interested in acquiring Ranger Suarez.
It sucks, but it's understandable. Like, I get it. Yeah, it sucks.
However, though, man, let me say this: while I'm always optimistic and Dombrowski is aggressive, and if you saw how the last 3 years ended, you would have to think they would see the same issues we do and, what could help, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I have all of about 15% confidence that one of those guys are a Philly. Like, I don't think any of those guys are. I don't think Bregman. I don't think Tucker. I don't think Bellinger. Definitely not Bo Bichette. He's not even on the mind. They're not coming to Philly. So with that said,
why do you think that, though? What? Just to be clear, why?
Maybe even though I'm being optimistic about the Schwarber thing, it is a little bit of pessimism from me. I have a feeling they bring JT back, they bring up Crawford, and you see filler type of guys in the corner outfields. Like, maybe better and more consistent than what we got out of Max Kepler, right? But a guy kind of that caliber, a guy around Harrison Bader, maybe a little less. Byron Buxton's a name that's been thrown around as well. Yeah. I don't know. I think you get that. Now, I would be happy with Byron Buxton, but let me just he's got injury concerns, but whatever. I'll live with the fucking injury concerns at this point. He hit 264 last year. He played 126 games, so he did not miss as much time as I thought this previous year. Before that, he played 102. Before that, he played 85. Before that, he played 92. Before that, he played 60. So he has been quite injured, but not last year. He's 31. So if you're going to complain about Kyle Schwarber being 22, buckle up for the Byron Buxton conversation. But yeah, 83 RBIs, 41 walks, 264. Yeah, I mean, obviously I would gladly welcome a Byron Buxton addition, but I just have a feeling even that might not happen. And maybe that's just me being negative towards the situation, but I think you kind of see a lineup of Trey, Schwarber, Bryce, JT, Stott, Marsh, Crawford, and then two or three guys that are fine. Like, no one's mad at the addition, but it's not going to get your wheels going, right? In terms of excitement.
Right. No, it's interesting. When you think about Ranger, with it being Zach Wheeler's last season is this upcoming one, right? He's done after this year, or is it two?
No, I believe it is 27.
Ah, okay. So maybe I was just getting stuck on it being his last contract.
Yes.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, if Wheeler's going to be gone after this season, do you try to hold on to Ranger? But no, I get it. I know we got some young talent coming up as well in the pitching staff, so they have options there. A few more options than what we have in the lineup department. So I get it. You got to invest money in that lineup.
Yeah, it runs through the 2027 season.
Okay.
So we have 2 more years of Zach Wheeler. And he did say, and who knows, maybe he changes his mind over the course of time. Maybe he doesn't really get injured again and it changes his perspective. But he did say, coming off of that surgery and everything, that he's going to play out his contract and then he will be retiring from baseball. So obviously, you want to talk about like window? Like,
yeah.
Window, brother. So
that's the window. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still going for it, but it'll be an interesting couple of weeks, man, the next month or so, because obviously once you start to get into mid to late February, those trucks start to get loaded up and heading for Clearwater, and we start to get into pitchers and catchers, and then spring training right around the corner from that. So obviously it seems like a far time away. It's not even Christmas yet, but that time will go as we do this show like that, and who knows, maybe a few more Phillies will be added over the next month and a half that we can talk about. So hopefully Dombrowski is aggressive. I think that's the biggest thing. Even though I'm being negative about it, he can't be. Like, you cannot sit on your hands. Like, okay, cool. Like, if this was your biggest goal, I need to bring back Kyle Schwarber, and I achieved that goal. Cool. How'd last season go for you with Kyle Schwarber?
Right.
Like, you need more. I'm very happy that Kyle Schwarber is back in the Phillies uniform. You need more. So, we'll see. We'll see what he can muster up.
Yeah, it was the only way they could have a good start to the offseason.
Yes.
It was the only way.
Yes.
So I think that's the best way to put it.
For sure. I mean, God, man, you lose Schwarber and then sign Realmuto. God,
good luck selling tickets.
Disarray, brother. So, yeah. Well, that's nothing. You got the All-Star game at the bank this summer. Schwarber, I'm assuming, would participate in the home run derby.
Right.
Imagine seeing him in like a Reds uniform coming back to the bank for the home run derby. Like, oh, that would fucking hurt. So, glad they got it done. The Reds, I did see, offered him 5 years, $125 million, I believe. The Pirates came out of nowhere with 4 years, $125 million. But that 5th year plus the extra money from the team that he's been playing for and trying to win with brings him back, lures him away from his hometown Reds, which was the biggest fear of mine in the offseason. So
can't let those Wawa hoagies go.
No. All right, man. Let's switch gears a little bit. You got the 13-10 Sixers back in action at the, I almost said the Wells Fargo Center, excuse me, the Xfinity Mobile Arena tonight, taking on the Pacers. We're going to give away not give away, but we're going to let you guys know our best bet later on in the show. How are we feeling in Sixers land right now? I know you asked me this about a week and a half ago, and I think my answer was kind of just in the area of good. Like there's not much negative, but there's nothing over the top, right? They're beat up. They're trying to get healthy. When someone comes back, someone goes down, and it just seems like a never-ending story. With that said, man, they're top 6 in the East right now. Top 6, you're out of that little play, and obviously it's very early. I'm not looking at playoff standings. I'm just saying you're the 6th best team in the East. You're 13-10. Obviously have a game in which you're 7.5-point favorites coming in home tonight. Embiid and PG are good to go. Maxey might not play, but that's just because he's sick, not because of an injury. So things are starting to look up for a team that has kept themselves right in the middle of everything. And you have teams that are lost what I was about to say there. Just doing a little too much. The Pistons, very good team. Cade, stud. I don't think the Pistons are going to remain at the top 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. You obviously had the Raptors up there a couple weeks ago. The Bulls have come back down there. So I think as the year goes on, the Sixers get healthier. You'll start to see them. Honestly, bro, I see them as a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the standings right now. Obviously the Knicks are going to stay up there. Boston's got a little hot. Orlando, I think they're a top 5 team.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland is the only team down below that I think will jump up at some point. And I do agree with you. I think the Sixers are a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference. I think you'll see maybe Boston, maybe Toronto drop out of that top 5 per se.
I think you'll see. I honestly think you'll see at least 1 or 2.
And I think the Sixers get up there, and I think Cleveland ends up getting up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel good, man. I feel good about the Sixers, and I say that genuinely. I'm trying to be transparent here because you look at their track record. They're 6th in the East, but they're 5-5 in their last 10. They're 13-10, so it's almost the only 3 games above 500. But they're just kind of finding their way, man.
Yes.
Like last season was so horrible that you lose yourself to an extent. And they have to refine themselves. Obviously, Embiid is still trying to refine his shape. PG's still getting back into form. McCain's still coming back from his injury last year. But they're 6th in the East. Maxey's playing at a very, very high level. And they're starting to get healthy, man. And, we didn't get to hop on here. A lot of different reasons. Work, whatever the case may be this week. It's been a busy week. It's holiday season. We weren't able to get on here and discuss that Lakers game last week, but that was a positive loss. And I know how loserish that sounds, but the Lakers are a top 4 team in the Western Conference right now. And you have Luka Doncic playing at an MVP level. Yeah. Austin Reeves is averaging like 25 points per game right now. LeBron just came back from injury. DeAndre Ayton's playing at a high level with Luka. And they come over here. They come to the Xfinity Center, and the Sixers give them a game. It's a game the Sixers should have won, to be clear. The difference in the game was one of those LeBron legendary moments. Like, that's what it comes down to. He scored, 7 or 8, 9 points at the end in a row.
And you did have a classic Sixers third quarter.
Yeah, you did have a classic third quarter.
A letdown spot. Even in the second half, we talked about it before the show. You score 60 at half. You come out and drop 24 and 24 in the final two quarters. Whatever this team does at intermission is the fucking wonder of the world, man. Like they
that's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you, because I feel good. I feel good about the Sixers right now. But Nick Nurse, how do you feel about Nick Nurse? And I'm not coming to any hasty conclusions here about Nick Nurse, but I don't know. There's oftentimes I'm looking at this team and I'm like, are they running a play? Like, are they running an offense? Are they running, especially in the second halves of games? In that third quarter, I think that is a coaching thing coming out of half, adjustments.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Well, right? And just being ready to go. Right now, obviously, they're grown men. You're big boys, and you're getting a lot of money
to
come and perform. So, shouldn't need motivation. But if this is a night in, night out type of routine where each and every night, man, they come out, they drop 68 in the first half, they scored 19 in the third quarter, they lose the third quarter by 16 points.
Cost you the game.
A bad punchline of an annoying joke at this point. And that would fall on, I guess, like leadership and coaching, right?
Yeah.
I think the other night I did see as well, like he didn't play McCain in the second half. Is that correct?
It was the entire third quarter. And I think he played a few minutes in the fourth. But he did not play the entire third quarter when they're sitting there struggling to score.
Like that's the stuff that annoys me.
Yeah.
I know and look, to his defense, like you mentioned with all the injuries, and this is year in, year out for him. And then obviously, you finally seem like you have something this year.
Yeah.
And just more injuries continue to pop up, right? Watford, Oubre, Bono was out for a while. Drummond gets put in a wheelchair for half a game 2 weeks ago. All this shit's going on. So I get you're trying to plug and play. But like Justin Edwards and Adem Bono were both DNP coaches' decisions the other night. But then on a night where they miss one guy in the starting lineup, Justin Edwards is starting.
Right.
Jabari Walker played 17 minutes. Dominic Barlow played 24. But on other nights, like I just mentioned, you'll start Justin Edwards or Adem Bono at center, and Jabari Walker will play 6 minutes. I don't get the back and forth. Like, this guy had it going. Jabari Walker was 1 for 4 with 4 points in this game.
Yeah.
Jabari Walker didn't have like anything go. You know what I mean? So like,
right.
That's the stuff I don't get where he continues to try to mix and match. Jared McCain should be a part of this rotation. I know you mentioned the issue. Oh, well, you have 4 guards now. Where do the minutes go? He can't not play in the entire third quarter, bro.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Like Jabari Walker, I know 2 different positions. If you go 3 guards, whatever you have to do, I don't know. Jabari Walker can't be playing 4 more minutes than Jared McCain. And in a game like this night, look, I love Quentin Grimes this year. I've loved him since the Sixers have traded for him. He's been spectacular this year. Quentin Grimes played 16 minutes in this game, took the same amount of shots as Jared McCain, and scored 1 less point. How did Quentin Grimes earn? Now, you could say he's earned them over the course of the entire season. He's one of those guys. I get that. But you're plugging and playing all these different guys trying to figure out what's working. And he plays 16 more minutes than McCain on a night that McCain was outperforming him in?
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. And something that, just sticks out in my head is the forcing of VJ Edgecombe into a point guard. Bringing the ball up. And, he's... I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't think they should force him into a point guard, to be clear. I think he can do it okay sometimes, but it just doesn't look natural. And, if that's what you want to do to, take Maxey off the ball, that's fine. He can't, sit there and dribble the ball into the wood all game if you're Maxey. But that's what Jared McCain is for. That's what Jared McCain did last season when he was maximizing his role on the team. Correct. He was bringing the ball up. He was running the offense. He was kind of playing like a step back of Tyrese Maxey. He's obviously not as quick or as athletic as Maxey, but he has the same shooting and scoring ability. He has the ability, maybe even a better playmaker. I don't know. Yeah. We haven't seen him maximize in that role yet, but I definitely think he would be a better option to run that role that they have VJ playing in. And it's not to say take VJ off the court. Just put him in his regular role, which is a wing or a shooting guard. Like, that is VJ's position. His position is not a point guard or a point forward, whatever the hell they're trying to do with this kid. But, I think there is a role for McCain in this team, even with the 4 guards that are playing.
I mean, to say that there isn't is idiotic. Like you mentioned, the half season that he put together last year in his rookie campaign, and obviously came out this year in very limited minutes when he came back from that injury, and was struggling to shoot the ball. He's found his rhythm a bit over the last 2+ weeks. He deserves just as much. You're going to tell me that Quentin Grimes has earned his time playing here, and he has. But Quentin Grimes came in here the second half of last season. Jared McCain was here the first half of last season. How does one get the benefit of the doubt while the other doesn't?
I'm even looking at VJ Edgecombe the same exact way. How is he
Right?
And I'm not throwing VJ under the bus. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be negative about VJ. And I'm not like Pumper in the comments with VJ Edgecombe. I'm not one of those guys. But what has VJ done to just be locked in the starting lineup over Jared McCain? Like, and it's not to say
To be fair, top 3 pick, but no, like you are right. Like
the way McCain played last season, what you got to see from him,
right.
like he earned his spot on this team, in my
agree.
opinion, like to an extent. So
Nick has
I
to
don't
start
know,
to
man.
figure it out. I understand, you give up size, you give up some defense at times. When your offense is struggling, man, why are you not attempting to throw out the 3-guard lineup? Like you're telling me you couldn't use Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, and VJ Edgecombe together in a sense, or Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, and Jared McCain, and then go with Barlow and Embiid to where you have basically 2 7-footers or Barlow and like if you have 2 7-footers on the floor, I know Barlow's not 7 feet, but what is he? 6'10 and a half, 6'11? If you have basically 2 7-footers on the floor, I think you can manage to run 3 guards out there, especially when you're struggling for offense. I'll say this before we kind of start to wrap up here. I'm looking back towards this Lakers game, and I haven't checked. This is just one box score. I know he's taking more shots in other games, but I'm saying this is one of the first games. Was this the first game? My memory isn't going back far enough. Was this the first game the 3 of them played together, or is this like the second or third game they played together?
I want to say it's the first game, yeah.
So regardless, okay, they had, this is why it's important for them to all play together so they can start to feed off of each other and understand each other and have that cohesion. But I'm looking at this game, and regardless of what people feel about Paul George at this point, Paul George was 3 of 8 in 32 minutes. So Paul George took 8 shots. Dominic Barlow took 7. VJ Edgecombe took 13. Quentin Grimes took 7. Jared McCain took 7. Andre Drummond took 11. Now, obviously, I'm assuming a lot of those are by the rim and some lobbies.
Rebounds.
So 11.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, obviously, is going to get the ball a lot. Joel Embiid was 4 for 21. So on a night that wasn't his at all from the field, Joel still took 21 shots. Paul George needs to take more than 8 fucking shots.
Yeah.
He's old, he's washed up, he's da-da-da-da. Paul George took 5 less shots than a rookie in VJ Edgecombe. And I do love VJ Edgecombe a lot so far. VJ Edgecombe should not be 5 of 13 while Paul George takes 8 shots. Joel Embiid should not be chucking 21 shots when he's hit 4 in the game. Dominic Barlow should not be 2 for 7 while Paul George is 3 for 8. Those numbers just don't fucking equate to me. So my biggest takeaway from looking at something as simple as that is they need to really start playing together and figuring stuff out, because with Embiid looking the way looking how those knees look and everything, I don't think he's 4 for 21 at all. That's not what I'm saying. But Paul George needs to be more of a bigger spot in the offense. Yeah.
No, I agree. To your point, though, I do think part of that is Paul George trying to play within the flow, not come in and step on guys' toes. I think you do have to try to find that balance when you and Embiid both return to the lineup on the same night as well. The reason I say that is because I do like what Paul George has done since he's been returning to the lineup. I think he's doing the little things. He's helping with rebounding. He's helping defensively. He's helping with leadership. He's had some bigger scoring games. I think that's something they will figure out, I guess, is the best way to answer that. I
believe so as well. I think what I just mean is you have a night like tonight where now Maxey's sick and they just can't all get on the same floor. And if this team wants to compete in March and April, these 3 guys need to start playing minutes together.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think tonight, Maxey's obviously dealing with an illness. It's a good opportunity to get those guys on the floor together and have, the ball in their hands for a good portion of the game. It's not going to be the same when Maxey's out there averaging 30, taking 20 plus shots a night, right? You guys are all going to get shots tonight. So let's see how it looks. Let's get these guys more integrated, more comfortable. And I think it's a good opportunity for McCain if Maxey's out tonight as well. Maybe he gets in the starting lineup. Maybe it's Quentin Grimes and McCain comes off the bench. Whatever they want to do there, that's fine. But he needs to, get 25 plus minutes. Maxey's sick. He doesn't need to play 40 plus minutes tonight. You can take 10 of those and give it to McCain. That's the type of stuff. That is something I think is very clear for me. McCain, when he comes in, and I'm not saying McCain can't play at the same time for Maxey, but he should always be on the court when Maxey's not. He should be the direct replacement for Tyrese Maxey when Maxey sits.
I completely agree because Grimes is just a different type of player to me.
He's like a get his own bucket type of guy.
Yes,
he's very much in his own bag.
He can just shoot off the wing and all, but he is ball on the floor, ISO. We need a basket. Go get the ball to Quentin Grimes. Whereas in terms of setting up an offense, like you mentioned, why is VJ taking that responsibility? Why is Grimes doing it when Maxey's on the floor? Jared McCain is more than capable of doing that when Maxey's off the floor. Also, play them together when you need offense, man.
I'll
say this before we wrap up, dude. Nothing annoys me more than, and this is where Nick Nurse does catch a lot of flack for me. This man never, ever calls a proper timeout.
The timeout, bro. Oh my God. I know what you're about to get into.
Look, man, if we see this every night, internally they have the data that shows what they do quarter to quarter, etc.
Yeah.
Every third quarter, Sixers could be up 18 at halftime. They could be up 9 at halftime. It doesn't matter. That lead will disappear within the first 3 or 4 minutes of the quarter. We will have 2 points. We'll be losing 14-2 in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. And he's sitting there telling the offense to go. Finally, we're down 2 or 3, and Nick Nurse pops up and calls a timeout. Yep. My guy, if you're up 14 at halftime and they cut that shit to 5 or 6, call a fucking timeout when your offense is in disarray. Look, every night, Scotty, he waits until the lead is gone or we're trailing to use the timeout and gather the troops.
When they're in a scoring drought, brother, and I have to watch Justin Edwards chuck up a 3, and then Jabari Walker chucks up a 3, and then Andre Drummond chucks up a 3 from the corner. And I'm just like, bro, we have not scored in 5 fucking minutes. Why are you guys shooting the basketball? Get the basketball into the – but at the same time, to your point, call a timeout and get that guy off the floor now. You cannot take that shot in that moment.
Fucking message across. To your point, do we run plays? Draw something up, man. You come out in the third quarter up 10 at halftime, and in the first minute and a half, 2 minutes, you're on an 8-0 deficit run to start the quarter. You're up 2. Your offense has turned the ball over 2 times. They've taken bad shots. Call a quick timeout. Settle things down. Draw up a play and see if you can get a bucket, and it changes the course of the quarter. Instead, it's fucking 16-3, 4 minutes into the quarter, and we're down 5 when he calls a timeout.
Oh my God, man!
So,
that's a pet peeve with this team, and it is coaching.
Give Nick Nurse a lot of grace and a lot of leadway for all the injuries and everything he has to deal with, but that shit, that is just come on, man.
That's pure coaching. That's his job, literally. So I feel you, man. How you feeling about tonight's game, though? 7.5 spread.
Well, listen, you have to win this game.
You need to win, yeah.
Tyrese Maxey or not,
it's a must-win.
This game. When I sat here and said it, it sucks because they can't get on the floor together. I just meant from a cohesion standpoint. This is a game where a star or two should be able to rest, and you can win the ball game.
Yeah.
So. Like you mentioned, if Maxey plays through the illness but only needs to play 25 minutes, if Maxey doesn't play at all because he's too sick, they should take care of business.
Win. Should still win. What up, get? Happy Friday. But no, to your point, man, I said that I felt like that Lakers loss was a productive loss. It's not a productive loss if you come out and you lose your next game a week down the line. You've been rested. You're at home. It's the worst team, arguably, in the Eastern Conference. Go out there and win that basketball game.
What did you mention to me earlier? Second worst defense in the Eastern Conference as well?
Yeah, they give up the second most points in the Eastern Conference, 119 points per game.
Nice. So, that's how we'll wrap up today's show. Our best bet for tonight.
Yes,
are we going with the first half? Is that what we've decided?
I think that is, I think
All right,
that's the
we'll
move.
give all the information out. So we were looking at Sixers team total over 115.5 tonight
Right.
against that Pacers' atrocious defense. However, reading the numbers in the Lakers game in the second half, talking about the third quarter struggle offensively, Sixers team total first half is 55.5 points, and that is going to be our favorite best
Yes,
bet
sir.
of the night. Sixers come out, get at least 56 in the first half, and I don't got to worry if they only score 17 in the third quarter to completely destroy the bet.
Exactly.
Come
Exactly,
out
brother.
in the first half tonight, which they seemingly always do.
They do.
A lot of games, they're scoring in the low to mid 60s and then come out and score like 42 in the second
It's
half
that third
combined.
quarter, like you said, man. That
So
third quarter is brutal.
first half, Sixers team total over 55.5 on DraftKings. I believe it was minus 120, minus 115 last time I looked at it. So might want to catch it now. Obviously, that line could move down. Both lines can move if Tyrese Maxey ends up being out tonight. We don't know, but he is listed on DraftKings. So I'm assuming if his numbers are on DraftKings, they're implementing him playing in their totals. We'll see how the lines move or not. But guys, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. I'm trying to say Terry at the same time. Terry, pumping you. As always, make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media and make sure to find us on YouTube as well. Subscribe. We will talk to you guys Sunday morning. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Peace, everybody. Have a great